Good evening. You've heard my name is Stephen Shaw. I hope that you can understand my accent. I'm not from these parts. I am, as you've heard, a barrister based in Belfast, a Queen's Counsel, a QC. That means I dress up in a black silk robe and wear a wig and go into court where I argue cases before a critical audience. That's usually a single judge, but on bad days, 3 of them gang up against me to make life extra difficult. Tonight, I have no robes. I have no wig to shield me. And I'm pleased to be here. I'm pleased to see each of you. And I hope that each of you, wherever you are this evening, that you are ready to be a critical audience. Critical in the sense of critical thinking. A critical listener. I hope that you're going to wrestle with some big questions and travel to where the evidence leads you. I spent my formative years in Scotland before I was exiled to Northern Ireland. And I've lived in that beautiful country ever since. I arrived in Northern Ireland just a few years before the onset of what are euphemistically called the Troubles, a period of civil unrest, a period of violence. I grew up in a society marked by religious controversy and violence. Organized religion surrounded me, and it was suffocating. My father taught me to ask questions, however unpopular, however unwelcome. It didn't much endear me to those in authority. They were unused to questions. But now I get paid to put on fancy dress and ask questions. In my teens, I wrestled with the universal questions that thinking people ask. They distill into 4 questions. Number 1, identity. Who am I? Number 2, value. Do I matter? 3, purpose. Why am I here at all? Number 4, agency. Can I make a difference? In my teens, I explored the writings of those who had rejected theism. I was like them, seeking to find a way to make sense of the universe without any external cause or author to whom I might, forbid the thought, be accountable. I found it a bleak landscape. But the key issue was not whether it was comfortable or not. The key issue for me was whether it was true. In Belfast, I lived within walking distance of the boyhood home of C.S. Lewis. He became a hero of mine in my teens. Like me, he was raised in a church-going family. But he came to doubt the Christian faith and became a convinced atheist. I expect you know his story well. He rose to prominence as a Don at Oxford. But eventually he came to doubt his atheism. He reached the conclusion that there was a God after all, calling himself the most reluctant convert in all of Christendom. It wasn't intellectual suicide, but the use of his intellect to decide that the theist position of what he called mere Christianity best explains life and the universe. He put it this way: I believe in Christianity as I believe that the sun has risen, not only because I see it, but because by it I see everything else. I found Lewis and his writings refreshing. He was no stranger to hard questions, But he had helpful answers too. He helped me find my feet as a Christian theist. He helped me see that if there be a God, and there is good reason to hold that position, then there could be acts of that God. And that's why I'm here this evening in support of this exercise, this adventure, Genexis. It's designed to provoke you to ponder those big questions. Is there a God? If there be a God, has he communicated with this planet? Is it possible to even imagine that he has visited this planet? Could it be that, after all, there is extraterrestrial life, and it's already been here, and it has big plans for this world?